mentality too they've tapped into. I want to know kind of what has clicked in your opinion for them because over the playoffs so far, 8-2, like an over a 19-point winning margin when they run away with wins. So what has clicked with that squad?
Well, I think that the game plan is now ruined for the whole NBA that they once had on the Knicks. We once had this narrative and this game plan to say, hey, we're just gonna pressure Jalen Brunson. We're gonna make it really difficult for him. He'll wear himself out, and at the end of the game, if we don't give him an available pass, he'll just dribble, 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 and they'll have to live with the results. You no longer can do that because now they're giving the ball to Cat, and then it becomes playmaking action. What it does is it creates less dribbles for Jalen Brunson, but you start to see Jalen Brunson is actually really good with cutting off of the ball, especially when he's aggressive with his cuts because he now knows he has a willing passer in Carl Anthony Towns. I think their three-point shooting goes up because you now have to sink in. If Cat gives you a quick shot fake, you now have to sink in when he makes a drive and he's spraying out. You got a bunch of closeouts. Guys are attacking closeout. It makes the game totally different for them. So I think that's the biggest thing that's happened. Cat becoming a playmaker now ruins your whole scouting report. So if people have a new tilt that they can do against Cat up there at the top of the key and on the sideline running that pistol action, if they have an answer for that, then we'll start to see new adjustments. But that once game plan that used to ruin the Knicks' hopes every time, it's out the window.
Well, and also it feels like they're playing more players. Having the rest at this stage is obviously good for the New York Knicks. I mean, what? It was like a year ago I saw Jalen Brunson over there in New York at the Upfronts.
Yeah.
They still haven't played a game since then.
No.
Yeah.
When was that? That was a long time ago.
Long time.
But their big thing against the Pacers is we ran their asses off the court. Like, basically, we just ran them off the court. It wasn't a deep enough roster. I think the
And
bodies.
now they're healthy.
Healthy,
Without
OG's
that rest,
back.
they're healthy.
And they're
OG's back.
rested. I mean, that's a good place to be. If you get a bye week, basically, going into the conference finals, that had to be dream come true for you Knicks fans, Bruce.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. It's like night and day compared to especially 2024 where Randall was out and once OG and his hammy went down, it was like, man, we actually only have 5 guys to play this game 7 against the Pacers at home. So, yeah, it's a dream scenario. Obviously, everything could get flipped on its head if you come out slow in game 1 and let the Cavs steal one here. But I'm so excited for the matchups across the board. Spida versus Brunson Burner, of course. But then on the inside, too, Mobley and Jared Allen dealing with Mitch and Cat is going to be an absolute banger. And then we'll see who ends up on James Harden between Bridges, OG, and Josh Hart. But I'm so fired up for the series to get started.
To wrap up this conversation, last question for you, Iman, from Ty.
Yeah, Shump, I mean, you mentioned the rest, and obviously that's important, but, like, is there any worry that the Knicks might be a little bit rusty? I mean, we just saw, the Cavs kind of have that really physical 7-game series with the Pistons. Is there any way that the Knicks could replicate, that type of physicality in practice? Like, is there any concern there that the Knicks may just be a little bit too rusty and the Cavs are coming in, after a hard-fought 7-game series win, and they might have enough firepower to kind of just stay hot and go right from jump?
I don't think there's any way to mimic fully what you have to deal with when you're dealing with Spider Mitchell scoring in the array of ways that he scores. He's got a full palette as far as what you want to see out of a scorer. But what I do know is that the rhythm of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden might be something to consider. If they are going to steal a game, I think it's going to have to be a game 1 against the Knicks, which is going to be tough in itself, just having to play in New York and deal with the energy of New York right now, because I'm telling you now, I'm here, it's warm outside, and Knicks fans is going nuts. But coming with that rhythm and knowing that they're coming with that rhythm and trying to jump on the Knicks early may be the biggest game plan that they can go with if they're the Cavs, because it's already hard to steal one on the road. But when a team's been sitting for that long, you try and catch them sleeping. You catch them if they're being sluggish or if they just overly excited and just come out with a little too much energy. And you guys are already settled into a rhythm together and playing with one another and understanding where you can manufacture points and manufacture offense. I think they could control pace a little bit more if they're conscious of it. But game 1 is the circled game for the Cavs. If they're going to steal one, it's going to have to be now, because once the Knicks get rolling, we've seen what they could do.
Did you say an array of ways? That's a good bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, an array.
Yeah, I mean, Donovan, he got the little takeover, bring it over the top. He gonna shoot it from the outside. He want to get downhill. He got the floater game. It's hard to simulate all of that in practice. I just would hope that, when the Knicks do come out, they understand, though he's going to do his scoring, the key to guarding and dealing with the Cavs is dealing with James Harden.
A cluster of buckets from that guy.
Yeah.
He's all over the place.
Dang, crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is absurd to see what he did. I mean, he hit 6 moves on there and then hit a step back 3. And old buddy fell. It's like, good luck. I can't wait. And then James Harden, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's starting to come back.
We'll see.
It's
Aren't
starting
we?
to come back.
Everyone?
When you're seeing James Harden do that, and I like to see him, he's one of those guys that is similar to Joel Embiid. When James Harden is animated, when he's the guy that you could see it in his eyes and he's engaged, he's looking around at his teammates, he's making them smile, he's making them feel their confidence roll. He's a different player. I think that when you can catch James Harden with the big eyes and he's not as responsive to emotions or big moments in the game, not as many celebrations or slow-mo walk-off, so to speak, home run walk-off, so to speak. When he's not doing that, I don't see him as locked in as he once was. I love it when I see James play with emotion, the three-point celebrations. It instills confidence in his team that he has control.
What does this mean, AJ? What's he doing when he does this? What does this
I don't
mean?
know. What do you think he's doing?
Somebody said stir fry or something. Is
I think it was stink
making
fry in
sauce.
Game 7. He was so
Jeez,
bad. But yeah, maybe.
Wesley, don't stop talking about this.
Maybe.
Hey, you're the man. We appreciate you, champ.
Indeed it is, and we are just under 6 hours away from Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavaliers and the Knicks from the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. Iman Shumpert will join us to break it all down ahead of the tip. He was right. He called it. He said it was the Cavaliers who were going to be here instead of the Pistons. And we are here in Bristol. Anna Storm and Jay Harris with you for the next hour. Spurs and Thunder starting it off. Man, that was incredible, right?
Yeah, they started it off. Plus, we got NFL OTAs underway. New head coaches are speaking today. You're going to hear from them and a few special guests as well. But we will start with not one, but 2 overtime postseason thrillers. I mean, it was crazy. What a night in sports. Overtime thrillers on the hardwood and the ice. The Canadiens getting the 7 OT winner to advance to the Eastern Conference Final, and the Spurs with the double OT win in Game 1 versus the Thunder. San Antonio's win coming thanks in large part to a large man, Victor Wembanyama, who put on a show, dropping 41 points and grabbing 24 rebounds, also becoming the youngest player in NBA playoff history with a 40-20 game, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He also joins Wilt Chamberlain as the only players with a 40-20 game in his conference or divisional finals debut. NBA analyst Iman Shumpert with us now. Shumpert, what will you remember about Wemby's performance last night?
I think the way he accepted the challenge. He had to sit there and watch SGA hoist up an MVP trophy, and I don't think he liked it too much. He didn't come out and decide that he was going to influence the game scoring right away, but he dominated the boards. He was in the right place at the right time. He altered shots around the basket. He searched for matchup problems. He set screens. He set back screens. He did a little bit of everything to let this game come to him before he eliminated all available options and said, you know what, now I'm just going to score the basketball. And there was nothing OKC could do. They tried a number of different defenders on him. None of that worked, but I think he did a great job of being patient for the moment rather than forcing the issue.
All right, let's talk about OKC. They lose for the first time this postseason. They had been 8-0. Guard Cason Wallace and head coach Mark Daigneault speaking earlier. This is new on SportsCenter. Check them out.
I feel like we started off slow, so being able to put a whole game together would be crucial for us. We obviously course-corrected in the second half, got it much closer, so just knowing that it's going to be a fight, we got to be able to throw punches as well as take punches.
In these series, one of the things you got to do is you got to figure out what the problems are, and you got to put the fires out pretty quickly. And so that's our challenge, and we got to work on that with the team today. We'll continue to work on it tomorrow, and then we'll throw our best pitch tomorrow night.
Let's talk about that challenge. SGA was a -15. He shot 7 of 23 from the field. If you're in his shoes and watching film of this game this morning, what adjustment does he need to make moving forward?
Getting the short shots. I think that SGA did a little bit of searching for the whistle when he wasn't shooting the ball well. He played into a lot of contact, and I think he's just got to continue to play in space, continue to try and get those defenders off of him, but create matchups and problems to where he sees a bunch of floor space. I think yesterday he did a lot of dribbling, 1-2 dribbles to the corner, and had other guys in that strong side corner not giving him enough room to get shots off comfortably. I think he needs to see a couple go down before he starts getting dangerous with it. And he also needs to be able to finish with the dribble all the way at the rim. The Spurs have done a great job of picking him up early, providing a bunch of pressure to make it late in the shot clock. But if he continues to exhaust the dribble and get to the basket through contact, you can't look for fouls, but he's going to have to finish around the rim.
All right, let's set the West aside for a second, get to the East Finals. Game 1 between Knicks and Cavs tipping off tonight, 8 Eastern, ESPN. What's the thing you'll be watching most closely as this series begins?
To see how they play Cat. I think that the Cavaliers are equipped to guard Karl Anthony Towns, but the gifts that Karl Anthony Towns have with shooting the ball, as well as being able to throw that late pass, his ability to make sure that the floor stays balanced, the ball moves side to side, and that Jalen Brunson can pick his spots to be dangerous and get downhill, especially if he can keep the lead within a certain number. I think that Jalen Brunson does as good as anybody in the NBA at controlling the game toward the end and saying if this becomes a heavyweight slugfest, he's going to win scoring bucket for bucket.
Hey, in their 10 playoff games, the Knicks have outscored their opponents by an average of 19 points per game. The best 10 game span in NBA playoff history. I did not know that. That is crazy. Iman Shumpert, thank you, bro.
Thank you.